Snodacast. We're on live.
I'll just read the previews probably. Till Shad comes in.
Yep, we're live. All right, we're good. I'm
Alright.
gonna check the sound real fast, and then we'll get started.
Oh, I hear the music.
All right, we're good. We can start. All right. Gallows, you still eating?
Yeah. Shit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Snodacast. As you can see, this is not your normal, typical Snodacast. Things are changing just a little bit right now. I'm not Black Shad. I am Diamond Assassin, aka Lewis.
At least not tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can make it in time. But yeah, so we're changing a few things because of his schedule and stuff. So I will be manning the stream for some times, and we'll just switch back and forth, and not just me, but I'm hoping everybody else at some point. But until we get there, all right. So let's start it off with the thing that we normally do. Is we have the one, the only, the chat of a man, Gallows.
What's up?
And then, oh yeah, we have Joe.
As for tonight now, I am Joe, but I'm also the big bad wolf.
Why, Joe, did you decide to name yourself the Bag of Pigs? Wolf?
Because we will huff and puff and blow down everyone's expectations for tonight.
Jesus Christ, Joe. Anyways.
I'm not trying to be cringe. I'm speaking the truth, man.
Anyways, we're gonna get right on to what we normally do, which is, how's everybody's day doing? How's everybody doing? Weekly update.
Nothing but work, but good.
Just surviving.
Surviving?
The love bugs bite me real good on the tushy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I just got back from a trip seeing family over in Mexico. So I remember I came in late to try to do this officially because hotel, so plans changed. But now I'm in
I can relate. The
full-
Wi-Fi, man.
full mode. No, the Wi-Fi wasn't bad. I was just trying to get there in time without missing stuff. But yeah, let's see. Let's go to what we have for now showing. Let's see, where is it? It's fine. The graphic isn't there, but it's fine. Where is it? Hold on. There it is. Sorry. Okay, for now showing, we have an announcement of The Boys Season 3, Crime and Future. We have also the Pinocchio trailer. We'll be talking about that shortly. And The Boys, of course. So, have y'all seen any of the Boys trailer? The season?
I've seen the first couple episodes of the first season, and that's all.
I
So,
need to
yeah.
get back on season 2, I think.
I need to catch up
What?
on it.
Hey. Oh my
I've heard
God.
that the Boys season 3 is okay. I guess
Mm-hmm.
there hasn't been really a whole lot of talk about it, so I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's good or just okay.
Mhm.
Uh,
And Joe, you said you need to catch up, essentially?
Yeah, but hey, I can't get enough of Huey and the other boys. Unintended.
And for me, I still haven't gotten into it yet. I have access to Amazon Prime. I probably should. I don't know. My dad was watching it, and he didn't really like it a lot. But I mean,
There's a lot
we'll see.
of blood, gore, and other kinds of.
Well, I mean, he likes that kind of humor, but I digress. Does anybody have anything else about The Boys season 3? Any
Bring it
expectations?
on.
I'm guessing it's gonna be good as with the first season. Hopefully, it's good as the first 2 seasons were.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, probably
Joe?
not.
What?
Any comments and concerns about The Boys
Oh.
before we move on
Oh,
to
yeah.
the next?
So it looks like they're really ramping things up, with it, especially with what's going on in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're even getting way towards some of the bigger crap that's happened in the comic books at this point.
Yeah, I
Does he
know.
die?
I heard.
Hopefully, he dies.
I haven't really
information.
read them all, but
Comics.
I have a bit of a synopsis.
Cool. On to the next topic, which is Gepetto, the movie or the series, whichever one
The
at this
hell?
point. Yeah. So
Gepetto.
the
I mean,
trailer.
I'm not saying what the hell was that. I'll tell you.
Have y'all seen it?
I've seen the trailer. I liked it. Like I told Diamond earlier while we are off live. I think the movie is a little bit better live action than the animation is.
Let's
So,
talk about the original.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because I'm only seeing the original. The original is the animation. I haven't seen any other ones before.
There's been so many remakes of Pinocchio at this point. I just prefer the original animated version of it.
Hey,
Yeah.
I gotta respect you for that, Luz. You know what you want? Just go with the classics.
I think this is actually going to be really good. I think that the main concern that everybody's kind of pointing out is the fairy godmother. I don't care. I mean, as long as they do a good job in acting, that does. I mean, I don't care what they look like and whatnot. But I know a lot of people are making a big gripe about it.
My only thing is that why is she bald though? That's my only concern. I don't give a shit about anything else, but that one situation where Chad brought up yesterday was the whole why is she bald?
Yeah.
Did they just give the actor a bald cap, or did she actually cut off her hair?
I think it's her actual hair, and I think they just gave the actor the free will of interpretation. Because remember how they did it whenever Latin came out live action, and they let Will Smith do his own interpretation of the genie. So this is probably another interpretation of the fairy godmother.
Well, I kind of felt one, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to the whole Will Smith and Aladdin thing, I think it's because people had like high expectations for him because of Robin Williams.
Right. Joe, any comments, concerns about the trailer?
I mean, the fairy godmother thing, but okay, does it just make this Pinocchio look a bit CGI'd up in that still shot you pulled up?
Well, of course, he's a wooden doll. Of course, I would think he died.
I wouldn't even surprised if they actually do have a puppet replica of that and just kind of animated it.
Wouldn't be surprised if Frank Oz was doing the puppeteering. He's probably too old and retired. Other than that, I mean, Tom Hanks, man, you can't go wrong. You almost can't go wrong with him.
Mm-hmm. All right, on to the next topic. PlayStations did their reveal, their state of play. So I'm gonna list off all the games that they've released. That I think it was 2 days ago. They made. I guess I'll just go over the VR stuff first. There's going to be a VR Resident Evil Village for VR. There's going to be Walking Dead Saints and Sinners VR. There is going to be a No Man. I got rid of it, but I'm just going to put it out there. There's going to be a No Man's Sky VR. There's going to be a Horizon Zero Dawn VR Call of the Mountains. And I think I covered every single VR. And then we're actually getting a remake of Resident Evil 4.
About time.
We're getting a new Street Fighter game, Street Fighter 6. We're getting Final Fantasy 16. Tunic, which is kind of like dungeon crawler-esque game that's popular on Xbox, is now moving to PlayStation. So, Spider-Man Remastered on the PC will be available on the PC pretty soon. Coulson Protocol is another game that comes out. And Stray is another game that was released. Roller Dome is another one. Eternal Nights is another one. And the Horizon Forbidden West update, free update for Horizon. And a weird game called Seasons is coming out for the PlayStation.
Wow.
It'll be like you're playing as a kid that goes around taking pictures.
Mm-hmm. So for all these announcements, what do y'all, out of the list, what do y'all feel like talking about first?
The ones that I saw were the ones that I saw and heard. The ones that I saw were the remastered for Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Village's Village VR, Walking Dead VR.
Mm-hmm.
And, I saw a little bit of the Final Fantasy, but I'm not a big old Final Fantasy fan, so I'm not really into it.
Mm-hmm. I haven't gotten into it, but I do eventually want to.
Played a couple of them. Never did finish 8, but...
What do you guys think about the Resident Evil remake?
I mean, I think it's good. I think everybody was
Evil.
hoping for it to come to PlayStation to be able to be played on that system, on the new systems.
I mean, it's just Resident Evil to me, so... more to try.
I mean, a lot of people have been waiting for this remake. So, what about the Street Fighter 6? Apparently,
not going to be on PlayStation exclusive this time.
From what I was seeing, apparently it's a ish Street Fighter. It's not your typical Street Fighter. I mean, it'll have the same fighters. I think there was some new fighters that were also announced, but apparently, from what I saw the clips, apparently you can use whatever character. I don't know the engine yet, but like from the clip, you could use the character to move around the world and find the fighter that you're supposed to be fighting in the story, I guess.
So basically, they're gonna make it where instead of like the arcade, where they're gonna make it like the arcade version, but you can actually go through the world and shit to find the fighter.
Exactly. So you actually get to like, I guess, like more background instead of it just being just a, like just it being like a 2D side scroller fighting game. Like it'll be a side scroller fighting game for sure when you're fighting them, but like you'll have more access to the world because I think a lot of people have been curious on how the world is.
I mean, isn't it just like just like our world, basically?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're probably, since they're doing this, they're probably going to hide a lot of symbolism and a lot of other stuff, a lot of Easter eggs and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't doubt it either.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they're still my favorite.
Oh, honestly, a lot of fighting games are basically based off of real life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
just that the fighters have powers and shit like that sometimes.
I mean, shoot, Soul Calibur, although it's mostly fictional, it takes place in like...
At most, Joe.
It takes place in the 1600s, I think, in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's the 1600s for the Street Fighter, not Street Fighter, for the Soul Calibur.
Mm-hmm.
Games like Street Fighter, besides Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat goes both here and the other realms.
Outrealm, yeah.
You got Dead or Alive, the Dead or Alive series.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Down syndrome brother to Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Let's be careful with that kind of joke, because there might be some people that have siblings.
Oh shit! My bad.
That have Down syndrome, man.
My bad. I'm sorry.
I don't want to make it.
Hey, you know, you're fine. You didn't go too deep into it, but so.
My bad.
What do you guys think of Tunic? Have you ever played Tunic or heard of it or seen gameplay of it? I know
I've never heard of Tunic before. All my years playing fucking games and shit, I've never heard of the game Tunic before. Is it like indie type game or something like that?
I think so, because Tunic is like a dungeon crawler. It's like imagine Zelda.
What type of dungeon crawler?
Imagine Zelda, basically. Like you go and you're like this little fox with kind of like a Zelda get up, like a knockoff Zelda get up,
yeah.
and Sword and Shield, and you have to find heart containers, and you go around. You basically go around the whole entire place to finding these mysterious pillars and activating them. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics.
I think it's on Game Pass too. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it is in the Game Pass. I said it was in the Game Pass, and it's now going to be on PlayStation as well. So
I may have to give it a try. I've been kind of sleeping on some games, and
I'm gonna tell you right now, Tunic is not for the weak. Like Tunic will make you like take breaks because of how like consistent it is with Zelda mechanics in a way.
Kind of like Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll go more anal, basically.
So basically, like Elder Rings, the new one that came out, where it makes you want to take breaks because the fucking bosses kill you fast.
Yes.
Or destroy the shit out of you.
Yeah, but in a more Zelda way, and like you have the checkpoints are actually very forgiving in that game. It's more along the lines of like your old school games that you had to like essentially play over and over and over again to like kind of get the patterns of the bosses and stuff.
All about patience.
Yeah, it's a patience game. So
I do not have patience sometimes.
Well, I'm not one to talk about patience either.
What do you think about the Resident Evil Village VR stuff?
My opinions on it are that what I saw from the video I watched, it's the gameplay looks good. But it's like any other VR basically. The only thing is the graphics are better. The graphics are a lot better in this game than any other VR I've seen or heard of.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish they could have. I just wish that they didn't make it into a VR or stuff like that.
I mean, I saw it coming, and it was bound to happen.
I mean, why though?
Wasn't really my favorite Resident Evil though.
I think it was just the
I
fact
love
that
Village. I thought Village was a good game.
I think it was just the fact that people were asking for it too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the end. I've heard about the ending ahead, and I was like, "Wow, that's like a big giant like."
Mm-hmm.
I have no
the
words.
big giant fucking cliche. The main character sacrifices himself and that sacrifices himself and shit.
And he's like, "Oh," and the big bad is like, "Oh, you were never alive to begin with." Jeez, way to.
Spoiler alert, by the way, to anybody who's listening. If you haven't played it, I don't know what to tell you. It's been out for a while.
The only thing I'm saying is you're kind of missing out on the gameplay, though.
What do you guys think about the new Walking Dead VR game?
I don't know. I don't know a whole bunch about Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I really haven't played the series before,
Mm-hmm.
but the gameplay looks good for a VR. I mean, it fits VR basically.
Yeah, I think any like zombie game made fits good, like especially Walking Dead. I think
What's up, Mo?
it was done very well for VR specifically. Joe, any comments on the Walking Dead game?
I don't know. I've only played the Traveler Tales Walking Dead, so
Mm-hmm.
I can't really say much about that. Well, is it like based on the show or like?
I think what I saw in the trailer, I think there was some characters that were on the show. Excuse me, but
Wait, what are we talking about?
The Walking Dead VR. He was asking
Oh.
if there was characters in the game in the VR game.
I don't think so. I believe the Walking Dead video game and the show are two different type of
They are different.
two different type of canon.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
No, he was asking if there was characters from there, and
Like,
is it
take place in the show universe?
I don't think it'll take place in the universe because it's a brand new game. So
This one was already out. Now that I think.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's probably a few characters from the show in there, but not all of them. And
yeah, because what I've heard about the Walking Dead series altogether, the video game, not the show, is that the main character is actually a little girl.
That's actually
she's all by herself.
Mhm.
Shit. So she's all by herself and she's trying to survive in the zombie apocalypse and stuff like that, basically.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What do you guys think about the Spider-Man remake? Essentially, they're putting that game in the PC now.
My thoughts on it
now
is
I don't have to get a PlayStation to play it.
my thoughts on it. I think it's good for Spider-Man, the
Mhm.
game series. Why? Because they're throwing more games out to different consoles, especially PC. I know for a fact I heard PC players complain that they don't have a whole lot of games to play.
Yeah.
Actually,
Joe, what do you think?
I mean, for somebody like me that wants to get a PlayStation but just don't have the money or the time right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to buy it, but you can do it on a PC. PC
Yeah,
costs
I mean-
more than a fucking in the bathroom about to take a shower. Yeah.
I mean, hey, if it's on PC, that means I don't have to like. I could just play it on PC and then be like, hey, hope Spider-Man 2 comes out on PC as well.
I was thinking the same thing, but with what's it called? Freaking all the mods that are gonna happen, essentially.
That's the only thing I don't like about PC is that you're able to hack the game off of a PC and put mods.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like some mods like ruin the game altogether.
Well, certain ones can. Well,
I mean-
it also depends on the game.
With the major title like this, I don't think it'll be as effective in a negative way. I think it'll be in a positive way, and it'll bring a lot of people to the game. Because they have done it like whenever Red Dead Redemption came out, both 1 and 2 for the PC, and it blew up because of the PC.
Yeah.
But for the PC, you're able to like shoot your guns really fast. Shoot your guns like a machine gun and shit like that
Mm-hmm.
off the PC. And for the PlayStation, you can't really do that kind of stuff.
Then we got Roller Dome, which is, from what I saw, just to kind of get it out of the way, is a game basically about you being in a roller dome. I think it has like a cartoonish style. I think it's okay. I think I don't know a lot of people are gonna play it, but I think it's an okay game. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people were like, "There's no like new games coming out," and I feel like
I can feel that.
there's a lot of people who were like, "There's nothing to play," and when there's some people who like to play random shit that comes out. So, and I'm kind of one of those people. Like with Tunic, I don't think a lot of people played Tunic, or some did catch it attention, but not as big as obviously Elder Ring and all these other big major titles.
A lot of games have been kind of delayed to like this coming year and beyond, so I feel that especially.
I'm not a big. I don't.
Go ahead.
When it comes down to games, especially PlayStation or whatever, like games for the systems, I'm not a big old fan of random games sometimes, because some games don't catch my attention, some games do. So I rather prefer to play the big names because they always catch my attention more. And especially like war type games, like Call of Duty, stuff like that. Those things catch my attention a lot more than anything else.
Yeah. What do you think of Horizon getting another update?
Horizon?
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't played Horizon, but what I've heard about it is that the game, when it dropped, a lot of people were criticizing it because they didn't really like the game too much when it dropped. But as it kept going on, I think people are getting used to the game, are liking it a lot more, I guess. The whole update thing is, I don't know. I don't play Horizon Zero Dawn.
I've heard a lot of people who have played it that they're excited for it. They're excited for the new update, for new content. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, what do you think about it, Joe?
Yeah, just like him, I don't play that. But hey, more power to those that are playing currently.
And then we have a game called Seasons, which is another kind of like, I think it's another indie title. It's, from what I saw from the video, it's basically a more cinematic type game. It's more story driven, and from what I saw, like the whole like the backgrounds and everything is like very beautifully made. So if a person's looking for something, I guess like calm and like more of like a pleasing aspect to your eyes, that's the game for you. And then we also have, let's see, I'm going down the list, the Coulson Protocol. I think this is a shooter, if I remember correctly. And
I have not heard of this one. Is it a brand new game or what?
Yeah, it's a brand new game coming out.
Coulson Protocol. Is it like 007? The old PlayStation 1 007 game?
I don't know. I think
That's what it sounds like to me.
Because I'm trying to remember exactly what the actual what's it called? The actual clip was, but I just know that it was like a first person shooter type game, I think. So, but yeah. I'm trying to think. Let's see. I'm going down the list just to make sure we got. Oh, Final Fantasy 16. What do you guys think about that?
Like I said, I don't really know a whole lot about Final Fantasy. What I do know is that the game should have ended a long ass time ago. I don't really play it, so yeah, basically that's all my opinions on it. It's like one of the longest running games out there, I think.
Well, I mean, for those that are still playing the series, since like before I was even where I am now, I mean, shoot, might as well be time to stop the big
Christian?
From.
Hello, my lovelies. What the hell is going on?
It's the big boss man.
Don't crash. I swear to God, Christian.
If you crash,
I'm literally just pulling out of my fucking parking lot. So don't be giving me that shit.
Hey, did you
Jesus Christ.
Wait, did you shave?
We're still on the PlayStation series.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we're talking about the PlayStation stuff, correct?
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think
Final
about the Final Fantasy VI stuff that's been coming out?
I meant to say, well, it's
The
time
Final
for
Fantasy
everybody
16, you mean?
Yeah, 16. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I've never been a Final Fantasy kind of guy. So I'm
like
personally
I need to
excited for it just because I know other people that I know will be excited for it. But other than that, not much else.
Sounds like I may have to purge the Snodacast pool of Final Fantasy game of who's not a Final Fantasy gamer.
Christian, did you ever play Horizon Zero Dawn at all?
No, never really had much of an interest, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you.
Because they're coming out with a new free update for everybody.
Yeah, and a VR version. That's what I remember. Yeah. So
Really?
also, don't be surprised if I just randomly leave and then I'll pop back in like 20, 30 minutes later. Because I am going to be going. I don't know how well my connection's going to be heading home. And then on top of that, as soon as I get home, I'm gonna shower and all that fun stuff.
You're
Joe, no, you are not getting pics. Don't even ask.
Oh, I was
Look,
gonna
I have standard to you little shit.
Standards, Joe.
What standards?
Joe and standards do not go together. That is sacrilege. What are you talking about?
Okay, can I get
You
some
know I'm
pics?
about to be down there in a couple of weeks.
And you can happily try to whoop my ass, but I don't fucking care.
I don't even know where you fucking live anymore, man.
You've never known where I live.
Actually, wait,
And that's
no.
what they say.
Wait, we dropped you off at your house that one day.
Yeah, but I doubt very seriously you remember the freaking address.
I don't even remember my own wedding anniversary yet.
You have a general vague idea as to where I'm at. You know where I am located. And that's how we're going to
So
keep
is
it.
that a no on the pics for me?
Earth 6-1. Wait, no, wrong one. Okay, but anyway, the seriousness. Honestly, if you're wanting to stop the big bad from destroying the world and use a bunch of magic summons to get that ultimate weapon, go for it.
Street Fighter 6 being somewhat.
Not really a big Street Fighter fan, more of a Mortal Kombat kind of guy. I've played my fair share of Street Fighter. You know, I'm okay with it, and I know there's a lot of people that are excited, but I've also known a lot of people that are like, nah, Street Fighter needs to kind of die, and I don't really have an opinion on it. So it's more along the lines of I've played Street Fighter. It's fine. I don't necessarily hate it. I mean, it's one of the quintessential fighting games. Much more of a Mortal Kombat kind of guy. Not even really gonna lie. I'm getting for my next tattoo. So you know, it's just it's a matter of a lot of things. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. What do you think about their route? Like the way that they're taking it to where, like, go into the city and fight around their universe.
The
and their
open world idea.
And like
Yeah, the open-ish world idea. I'm not necessarily against it. It could definitely help separate it from essentially being a Mortal Kombat. Because there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, Mortal Kombat is essentially just entirely story-driven on top of fighting game. Whereas, you know, if they do this with this, I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea. It's just I really would rather see some gameplay before I make my decision on anything. So that's just kind of what I'm getting at.
Look, my opinion. Well, I really don't agree with you on that, but I mean, I think it's a good idea with the whole opening the place up to the world because it brings back that feeling of going from one place to another around the country to fight other characters and shit. But this time you actually can do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, that's all fine and dandy. It's not like I'm entirely against it. I'm not. It is what I mean. Like, I'm just not that big of a Street Fighter fan, I guess to say. Much more of a Mortal Kombat kind of guy. But you know, I mean, Street Fighter is one of those quintessential fighting games. So the fact that it's gone on this long, you know.
Well, the same thing can be
the
said
fact
about
that
Mortal
we're
Kombat.
only on 6 and Mortal Kombat. I mean, love or hate Mortal Kombat, they're at least on Mortal Kombat 11. So you know. Hell, I think they're coming out with 12 at some point, and it's going to be kind of a prequel-esque game. So just based off of where the DLC ended. Yeah, which I have not beat yet, but I know where it ends. So I'm working on beating the DLC as we speak. I think I'm actually almost done. I think I'm halfway done with it.
That'll be something.
Hell yeah.
Well, like I said, the same thing can be said with the Mortal Kombat series, that it should have died after 9 or even 3. Some people believe it should have died after 3.
Here's the thing about the latest Mortal Kombat games that have come out since Mortal Kombat 9, the one that was like revamped and everything. Technically, it is really Mortal Kombat 9 just because they didn't they restarted the timeline. So it's not just a full-on remake, with better graphics and stuff. It really is. It's a continuation of where the last game before it left off, which was Raiden basically sending a message through time to himself that something's happening. And so in Mortal Kombat 9, you get that. And it's basically, you get a different outcome with Liu Kang. Spoilers for Mortal Kombat 11. Not only did Liu Kang die at the end of Mortal Kombat 9, as well as a whole bunch of characters, and then they become revenants through Quan Chi, you also have... now you have Liu Kang basically being the god of time, or he's the fire god, and Raiden is now immortal. So you have Liu Kang being fire god Liu Kang, Lord Liu Kang essentially, and now he's restarting time. So, and then that's where it's going to lead into his original ancestor. He's going to now meet up with him, which was like the first Earthrealm champion to go fight in Mortal Kombat for Earthrealm. So that's essentially where we are kind of leading towards, and we could be seeing a first ever Mortal Kombat tournament in Mortal Kombat. And I'm hoping they don't just call it Mortal Kombat 12. I hope that they give it a better title, because they've kind of been doing that with Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, then Mortal Kombat X, and then Mortal Kombat 11. And it's all fine and dandy. I don't necessarily care if they do. I mean, I guarantee I'm gonna buy it. But my biggest thing is now, if they do that, they'll be going away from Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which would be a big step from Mortal Kombat. What's up?
I still want them in the game, though.
No, everybody would still want them as playable characters in the game, and that's what you can do. But I don't think necessarily you would need them in the story, which is not the main reason why everybody gets Mortal Kombat, mind you. Most people get Mortal Kombat because they're like, oh, cool, new characters that I could or could not be playing with. Fine.
Like my friends.
Mortal Kombat is one of those games that you just invite some buddies over, have a few drinks, and just play the shit out of each other. That's really it.
Yeah, basically.
As long as you don't perform the fatalities on each other.
Yeah.
Trisha, what do you think about the Spider-Man game being remastered? Well, remastered, essentially put into PC.
Well, since you guys are also a part of the Discord server, you saw my reaction, which was a gif of Cartman saying, "Holy fuck, dude." And that's that's really what I thought. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit, really? I mean, I get God of War was probably a testing ground, and of course it broke all sorts of records online when it went on the PlayStation, or when it went on the PC. So I think Spider-Man being another one of their biggest surprises, definitely leading that. Now, granted, the fact that it's remastered might piss a lot of people off, because they changed the sprite animation of Peter Parker to look more like Tom Holland instead of what the original game looks like.
Like Tiny Tom.
So, and that's something I can get over. It's nothing too terribly difficult. It's just a face. I mean, it's whatever. It's not that I can't get over it. I kind of have with Miles Morales, because you played with him for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of done and over with it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely think it was a stupid decision to try to make him look more like Tom Holland when he looked fine. So it's whatever.
I mean,
but as for it coming on PC, I think it's a brilliant idea. Just because I think PlayStation needs, as much as I love their exclusives, I think they need to kind of let some people start playing some of their more popular games. I'm not saying all their exclusives go directly to PC. Obviously not, no. but knowing Sony, I think they might be looking at getting their own PC side of things. So kind of like what Epic Game Store has, what Microsoft has, you know, something along those lines that they might be looking at doing something like that, because then they can combine PlayStation Plus with that and essentially ape Xbox's Game Pass.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I'm cautiously excited. Not that I don't already own the 2 games anyways, I do. But just because I personally think it's not a bad idea, but be excited with caution with it, because if they're testing the grounds on how well their exclusives do, then I guarantee you there will be a point in time where they will start doing something similar to Xbox Game Pass, where you can get their games on PC, but it has to be through their thing. Yeah. So be very, very, very cautiously aware. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, what do you also think about the Resident Evil VR, Village VR coming out and stuff?
It doesn't honestly surprise me, because I think they did it with Resident Evil 2, if I'm not mistaken.
They did.
But, you know, I mean, Resident Evil in and of itself... No, they did it with Biohazard. So Resident Evil in and of itself kind of warrants VR, just because, especially if you're going for a horror game and that kind of stuff, I think it definitely warrants it. But beyond that, it is what it is. I'm not necessarily a big Resident Evil fan. I think, personally, they're not the games for me, even when they finally got into first person. And I've been meaning to play some of the first person ones, but I tried playing the original. I wasn't a fan. They're just not my type of games. It's not that I don't understand how important they are. They are. I mean, they're one of the most revolutionary types of games in that type of field, especially being a horror game. Yeah. But I don't like a lot of Konami games. I just don't. Like, I was not even a fan of Devil May Cry. That was not my thing.
Christian?
Fair.
I know. People are gonna fucking hate me. I'm just saying I wasn't that big of a fan of.
Hey, you know, it's fair. Devil May Cry, like, it's kind of like a back and forth. It's either you like it or you're not into it. So.
I mean, it's just really that like it's not even over the shoulder. It's that like third person view that kind of irritates me about it, because it makes it harder. And I get it. That's part of the gameplay. I understand that. But like, honestly, it's just not my thing. I would much rather probably watch someone play Devil May Cry, or maybe watch someone play Resident Evil, but beyond that now.
Well, what about Metal Gear?
I haven't played Metal Gear yet. I've been meaning to for years.
Bro, you're missing out. Phantom Pain was my favorite, but there could have been a lot more.
I've seen someone play Phantom Pain, and I was entirely lost. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But
story, yes, but gameplay is pretty.
I thought the last Devil May Cry saved the series.
It did. It really did in a lot of fans' eyes, because I think Devil May Cry 4 did not do that well. And that's the only one I've had experience with.
Because of Nero being new, but he's a lot better than 5.
But you know, it is what it is.
The game was the whole animation, I guess you can say.
Now, I will say this: I am excited that they're doing Resident Evil 4. But if I remember correctly, Resident Evil 4, when it first came out, was not very well received because it's more action heavy. So I think that might be more up my alley when it comes to Resident Evil. I think that might be a little bit more fun, just because. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, people were talking about a specific one.
The escort missions.
Yeah, that's the. There was one.
Why am I laughing? I hate those.
There was one scene where you have to like survive a horde or whatever, and a lot of people were talking about.
Oh, I've always loved that. I've always loved that part of the Resident Evil 4. Well, I feel like what threw Resident Evil 4 from the rest was the whole, hey, you have to survive traps thing. You have to run down. You have to run down a hill at least 3 times on the game from a fucking boulder.
There's like a McGuffin.
I am interested to see what they'll do. My thing is I'm interested to see what they'll do with Resident Evil 4 Remake. Will they go lean towards more action or lean towards more horror? Because part of the problem was Resident Evil 3, the remake, was not very well received. Just because it, I think that they said they made it way too short, and it was essentially a clone of Resident Evil 2's remake, which was very well received. So I personally don't know. again, not my franchise. I'll watch the movies, like I'll watch lore videos, hell, I'll watch gameplay videos, but beyond that, it's just one of those things that I don't think I'm really going to enjoy. And that's just my personal opinion on it. So, you know, I mean, you can fight me on it. And I mean, it's the same thing with Devil May Cry. It's just not, those aren't my types of games. And I love single player games. I just, I don't know. Something about Konami just doesn't rub right with me. Maybe Metal Gear may save that. I don't know. But
maybe you probably haven't found the right game yet from them. That's
maybe. I will be the first person to admit whenever I'm wrong. If I end up liking Metal Gear Solid, then yeah, I'll be the first person to admit that. But you know, beyond that, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't.
I'll give you a special cardboard box to hide in.
Oh my god.
I know the thing about the cardboard box, but yes.
What do you think
about what are y'all's thoughts on Resident Evil Village?
My whole thing is though, it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't fit the whole game. The VR doesn't fit it because what I've seen from VR that the animation's more like rated PG, like it has like age, like rating type of way, like they rate movies. It feel like more like a PG-13 type of game system, and the whole thing with Resident Evil is it's not. So I just feel like it doesn't. I don't think they're
gonna cut back on any of the gore or anything.
Yeah, they're not cutting back on it. I mean,
it's literally just a VR import of the game.
It's basically a copy and paste of the game, which was a lot of people who have been wanting this one specifically for VR because of the whole.
And I know exactly what reason why.
Exactly.
Because of big titty goth lady that has stabby hand. But yes.
And the mommy.
That's why I said big titty goth lady.
Look.
Because, you know, step on me, mommy, Lady Dimitru, or whatever the fuck you pronounce her name.
Dimitris.
You guys are fucking weird. Sort of fucking
very weird name, but yes, step on me, mommy. It's VR.
I do, please. But the whole obsession with them is just like, god damn.
Okay, to be fair, Gallows, you gotta get in the mindset of when they released that game, when they released the demo. It was like peak freaking quarantine. Everybody was locked in their house. And everybody had a little bit too much horny energy. We're gonna leave it at that before Joe starts getting his horny energy levels going over 9,000. So
I've already faced that.
Christian, what do you think of The Boys, season 3?
Season 3, I've already started it. I finished episode 3 this morning. I actually started and finished all 3 of the first 3 episodes this morning. I'm starting to see cracks in some of the writing for sure. But beyond that, I'm still thoroughly enjoying it so far. I'm super fascinated with what they're going to end up doing in this season because for those of you that have seen the trailer, we are seeing Billy getting powers, and it's kind of a temporary compound V. And I will say this, it's kind of terrifying to have... Okay, sorry. The fucking music was making me think I had my blinkers going. It's kind of terrifying to see Billy have these powers just because of how fucking brutal he goes into. I mean, not really going to spoil who it is, but there is a soup that he fights while super powered up. And let's just say Billy fucking lives and the other one doesn't. And it's kind of fucking brutal on how they do it. Just because there's some stuff that they do and I'm like, oh, shit. And I will forewarn you guys, be prepared to see a tiny guy go into the tip of a guy's dick. Just FYI.
Jesus.
In the first episode. Yeah.
I mean, well, it ain't television if it doesn't. American television.
And now, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Christ.
I will tell you, they show it very graphically, mind you.
Christ.
Yeah, like this is probably the most graphic I've seen The Boys get, just because, like, I mean, like they're showing a lot of like horny energy kind of thing. But I will say this: the tiny guy does sneeze and accidentally grows while still inside the other guy's dick. So that was.
All right. That's enough talking about tiny guys and dicks. You're just starting to sit on.
I'm sorry. That is still stuck with me since this morning. That is.
Oh my god!
So
holy fuck! That was so. I was so happy my parents walked in on the second episode and not that one, because I was like, I would have had to explain that, and yeah, that was not fun.
Horrifying.
Yeah, the shit that we have to deal with.
Say it. Say it. No, say it. Say something.
Right?
The shit that we have to fucking deal
But
with.
yes, definitely check out The Boys. Season 3, the first 3 episodes are out right now on Amazon Prime, and we are getting new episodes every Friday.
Yeah,
Dude, I actually like the idea that they're going with the whole bring back every week type shit with Prime.
To be fair, you can technically thank Disney Plus for doing that.
Doing what?
Not releasing everything in bulk when it comes to their new shows. Because it basically...
Through it.
Go ahead.
Everything on Netflix is Stranger Things, man.
Well, here's the reason why they do it. It's entirely a money thing, because what it comes down to is Netflix had always had surges of people that would sign on for whatever the month free trial or whatever it is, and usually with Netflix dumping everything all at once, that would guarantee butts on their platform. So basically, Disney saw that. They're like, okay, that's all fine and dandy. We're going to steal that concept, but we're not going to dump everything. We're going to dump 2 or 3 episodes at max, and then we're going to release the rest of it. So like with The Mandalorian, they released 1 episode to get everybody hooked. Yep. And then, of course, it ultimately got everybody hooked. And so therefore, now we have, and then it released every week. So to be fair, everybody was already comparing streaming taking over and becoming cable. Now it really kind of is, with all the different packages and everything. It's a pain in the ass now, because like most people aren't going to want to keep more than 1 or 2 at a time. Netflix is slowly dying off. Disney is pissing everybody off when it comes to half of their shit. And
like what? How?
Like Star Wars, they're literally... We're not going to get into it, but basically they are kind of spitting in the face of fans, and just to kind of push their own message kind of thing. And then, obviously other people are eating up and everything else. And then they just kind of continue to give shit after shit after shit with cool moments sprinkled in between. So that's kind of, basically it's along the same lines of whenever we talked about Daredevil, and I said, oh, I'm cautiously excited because I know kind of how Disney's pushing all their Marvel stuff, how they're pushing their Star Wars stuff, and it's kind of like I don't know. I have my doubts, and I think either Disney is going to have to. I think they're either going to continue to keep doing it because they keep getting money from it, they keep suckering people in, or they're going to have to fucking change something, because either people are going to have to wake up and stop watching the shit, myself included. Or they're just gonna fucking have to, it's just one of those things. So I don't know what they're gonna end up doing. But anyways, what we were talking about, The Boys. Yeah. So now we have 15 different streaming platforms. I honestly would say if you're gonna get anything, get the Disney Plus bundle, because they have Hulu. Hulu has better shit. And then HBO Max. And then that's kind of it, unless you want to watch some other stuff. What's up?
I said, well, you're going to pay the $79 for that bitch?
What'd you say, Gallus?
I said, you're going to pay the $79 for that bitch?
Yeah.
That's what fucking package, my friend. For that whole package? For Hulu?
I mean, it's $15 for the Disney Plus Hulu bundle. And then the HBO Max is like $7 or $8.
Mm-hmm. So, which one of you guys have HBO Max that I can borrow? Because I want to watch something.
You know what? I tried.
I said you could borrow my HBO Max, and that's all fine and dandy. I'll let you do that. That's whatever.
I tried to log into it.
All right, when you get home and after you're done taking a shower, send me the information so I can log in.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have it set up for you. I don't think I've given you the password yet, so just
that's what I'm saying.
Give me a moment. You're just gonna have to remind me. That's the
biggest
thing.
That's why I said when you get home and after you're done taking a shower and shit, send me the information.
Hold on, you guys are roboting out on my end. Hold on.
It's his connection, because we're offline.
No, I tried to log into his HBO Max.
Yeah, my connection.
I tried to log into Christian.
Joe, I'm sorry. I'll have to send you the password.
What happened? Like, or wait, yeah. Yeah, I tried to log into it, but it said the session expired. Did you like change it?
Oh, A's gone.
Yeah,
he's probably a body. We're just gonna get to the last and final topic of the night.
That was it?
Yeah, basically we just went through. We're doing something different, a little bit shorter, so that way it's not too long.
I guess it's temporary for a little bit.
Yeah, for a little bit. Well, the only reason I'm doing it this way is because I wanted to cover mostly games. That was basically it. Stuff that's going to be announced. And pretty soon we're going to have to get ready to do 2 more of these, which will be for Nintendo and for Microsoft.
Microsoft Bethesda will be...
You guys are on your own with Microsoft, Nintendo. I will try to look up some stuff. I'm just not a big old Xbox fan.
No, actually, the showcase was for Bethesda. Microsoft will be on the 12th, so...
Anyways, we're going to get on to the last and final topic of the night, which is...
My nutsack.
Dragon Age Death.
Take it away here.
Yep, Joe.
Okay, for those that were not in the brainstorming room the other night, but here on live, okay, I'm just gonna lay this out here for y'all. There isn't really anything much except what I've been seeing and hearing. Like, they're talking about some ancient elven god called Solus.
Mm.
Or possibly a character called Solus from Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
And the Dread Wolf was the title of this Solus, the ancient elf god dude. And honestly, like, it seems like some crazy shit's gonna happen with this character. But
what kind of game is it, Joe?
well, okay, I'm gonna pretend you. Well, okay.
I don't know because I'm
not gonna pretend. Okay.
I don't know either. So
just explain it.
Dragon Age is a series of role-playing games by BioWare. Yes, that BioWare that made Anthem. I'm sorry, I polluted.
Anyways, continue with Dragon Age.
It's basically like a fantasy RPG where, for the past, it's mostly been mostly kind of a hybrid of turn-based and real time. But like, Inquisition was the last one after 2, where you're part of a. Well, I don't really have the name for him. Somebody could probably correct me here, but you're part of a inquisitorial order.
An inquisitorial order.
Yeah. And basically, your character ends up getting cursed with some kind of thing where you're using some green energy magic thing, but as your character gets stronger, this magic does too, but then your curse gets bad. Anyway, there's a character in there that I don't know if he's a party member, but his name's Solus. May be of no relation or not. Yeah.
Anything else about the game?
Honestly, like, there's not much else to go on because right now, I mean, until like EA or somebody does their Summer Game Fest portion, like, there's speculation right here what's going to happen. I just know it's BioWare, and for better or worse, well, this could be the game that could make or break them. I mean, do I not have, I don't want to say the A word here and then, like, make everybody cringe.
Say it, Joe. Say the word.
Any last thoughts, comments, concerns about all the stuff that we just talked about? Everything or anything?
Not really. Not really in the pool.
Joe?
Well, I haven't really ever finished any of the Dragon Age games, but I'm just hoping, well, it can either save Dragon Age, it can either bring Dragon Age back from stasis and maybe save BioWare, or worse, well, BioWare just may end up being another studio casualties from Electronic Arts, and well, the next Dragon Age will probably never be made. Worst case scenario.
Yeah, I'm excited for what else is to come, what's going to be dropped. I know people are waiting on for more information to come out.
I'm
I
kind of
know
washing
that
my
there's
hands
a
of
lot of other
COD for
games.
now.
The same.
I'm
I
pretty
can't,
sh-
I can't do COD right now.
I think I'm pretty sure we're gonna see another Cuphead trailer of the next DLC expansion that they've been teasing for
Oh,
quite
I
a
thought
while.
you were talking about the show.
So no, I think they are.
Eh,
I don't know. We'll see because Netflix likes to cancel shows. So I mean, I love
Well.
the show,
they've been going down to sugar.
but we'll see. On other notes, I've been your co-host slash kind of like temporary host of the Snodacast, Diamond Assassin, aka Lewis, been joined by these lovely people, Gallows
Yo.
and Joe.
Ha,
Listen,
ha, ha, ha.
it takes one
Ah.
good meme to make one person's day become better.
And on that note, we'll see you guys in the next
It
one.
is a statement.